I'm glad that Secretary Blinken has confirmed that America is not asking us to choose. I don't recall any attempt by the United States to do that. But in terms of our interaction with some of our partners in Europe and elsewhere, there has been a sense of a patronizing bullying toward you choose this or else. And the recent legislation passed in the United States of America by the House of Representatives, we found a most unfortunate bill that we'd hope the media would say more about, because when we believe in freedom, as I'm saying, it's freedom for everybody. You can't say because Africa is doing this, you will then be punished by the United States. So that's been a disappointing passage of legislation by one house, and we hope the other house will not agree to such offensive legislation. So indeed, it is important that all of us accept our ability to hold different opinions. We are, after all, sovereign nations that are regarded as equal in terms of the United Nations Charter. We may differ in terms of economic power and economic ability to influence development in different parts of the world, but what will make the world work is if we respect each other. This is very, very important. And one thing I definitely dislike is being told either you choose this or else. When a minister speaks to me like that, which Secretary Blinken has never done, but some have, I definitely will not be bullied in that way, nor would I expect any other African country worth its salt to agree to be treated.
Hello everybody, welcome once again to AfriPost. I believe wherever you're watching us from, you're doing great. You are a bully. This is the information and the comment that NALEDI PANDOR, South Africa's foreign minister, had towards US Secretary of State Antony Blinken. You know, most African countries are always very afraid to face off with these Western superpowers, and especially United States. No one can really come out and tell you to your face that you are wrong, especially when it is an African country, because most African leaders have always been very passive and meek in their engagement with the United States. But this our brave Iron Lady of Africa, NALEDI PANDOR, cannot mince her word when she is with people, especially those who wield power over people who are considered to be poor and in miserable conditions. So I want us to watch this engagement that NALEDI PANDOR had with Antony Blinken, the United States Secretary of State. Then talk about it after the video. Kindly watch.
Firstly, on the matter of Russia and Ukraine, there is no one in South Africa who supports war. We've made that very clear. And we have said that we wish to see intensified efforts at increased diplomacy, utilizing the good offices of the United Nations, particularly the Secretary General, and other leaders who may be of weight in terms of persuading the interlocutors to come around a table and negotiate a settlement of this awful conflict. This is the position of South Africa. We support a search for peace. We are appalled by war. We abhor war because it brings untold suffering, which is something we experienced under apartheid. So this is the position that we have. With respect to the role that multilateral bodies such as the United Nations should play, we believe that all principles that are germane to the United Nations Charter and international humanitarian law must be upheld for all countries, not just some. Just as much as the people of Ukraine deserve their territory and freedom, the people of Palestine deserve their territory and freedom. And we should be equally concerned at what is happening to the people of Palestine as we are with what is happening to the people of Ukraine. We've not seen an even-handed approach in utilization of the prescripts of international law. And we encourage that the world should have greater attention to ensuring that we are equal to everybody. This has been a concern, and this is what at times leads to cynicism about international bodies and a lack of belief in their ability to protect the weakest and most marginalized. We have to change that belief and cynicism and ensure that all international institutions treat all human beings in a fashion that shows them, whether we are ICC, ICJ, UN Security Council, G20, EU, whoever we are, we will protect. This is important. Also on Taiwan, clearly as South Africa, we have very clear separation between the executive and the legislature. Recently, the Speaker of the National Assembly was invited to be part of a group of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, a group of speakers who were a delegation that were to visit Ukraine. I could not say to the Speaker, Speaker, don't go there, don't go there. It is Parliament's decision as to what they do. This is what separation of power means. So I think for us, decisions by presiding officers, whether we agree with them or not, as the executive, they would have to live with our decisions. We have to live with their decisions and repair any breaches in relations that they may cause. That's our duty to do that. Of course, we welcome the ceasefire in Palestine. However, we do express concern that many civilians have been killed. Infrastructure that provides services to ordinary civilians has been destroyed. The people of Palestine are living in buildings that are shells. And this worries us, having experienced apartheid ourselves and living in corridors. So we do think there's work for the world to do in ensuring that we create peace in the territory of Palestine and have a two-state solution where you have two nations existing in peace, side by side. We also think we're not satisfied that there's been an independent investigation of the murder of Shireen Abu Akleh, and we still call for a full independent investigation and a full report on who actually shot her. Because you can't say bullets shot a person. It's an individual who wields the gun, and we need to get to the truth of that. This is what would show that we are truly committed to being honest and even-handed toward all people, and in particular toward media practitioners who must be given the security to practice their craft. On the elections in Kenya, we've been very pleased that thus far the campaign up to its end yesterday seemed to have been largely peaceful. We hope that the election which occurs on our Women's Day in South Africa, that it will result in a stable, free and fair election. We wish the people of Kenya well in this process. We recall the last election, and we are hoping that tomorrow everyone will be able to exercise their democratic right to vote in a condition of peace and security. Of issues, some of which I'm sure will form the substance of the questions that you wish to pose. We've confirmed the good standing of the relationship between South Africa and the United States of America. It's a very extensive partnership in which we cooperate in a wide range of sectors. We had reports from 4 commissions that are part of our bilateral strategic structure. We should have this kind of political dialogue on a regular basis, but we'd had a hiatus for almost 8 years, but we've agreed that this is going to be an interaction that takes place on a regular basis. I have had many opportunities to hold meetings and discussions with Secretary Blinken, and I've always found him open to listening and to sharing perspective on various world affairs. So having said that, I'll now hand over to him Secretary Blinken, over to you, and then I think we should allow the media.
Now, listening to that speech, I remain to be a happy person because I'm happy of how this brave lady could really face off with Antony Blinken, one of the most powerful ministers in United States, because you understand that Secretary of State is always very responsible for engagement between United States and other countries across the world. And this is something that is very, very positive coming from NALEDI Panda, because she says engagements between United States and other superpowers with countries like those in Africa have really been that of intimidation, that of showing that you have more power and strength. But this is something that should not be accepted in today's world, because if you look at Africa in itself, look at our natural resources, we are the richest. Look at how we engage with other people, we remain the richest. And that is why, if you look at what China is doing in Africa, if you look at what Russia is doing in Africa, it is really a threat to how United States is going to engage. And South Africa has also faced off with the United States in International Court of Justice. They are saying, we will not allow the atrocities committed in Gaza to proceed because Israel has the support of the United States. So I believe we need to really appreciate this Our Lady and support her in everything that she's bringing across. I don't know what you think about this, but please, if you're watching us for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and also share. Thank you, and may the good Lord bless you. Goodbye.